Some people think that change has to be shocking, like diving into a cold pool. But it can be as simple and easy as letting go of the limiting beliefs you're holding on to.
I can't change. I'm never going to feel healthy. I'm never going to have the life I want. I can't stop feeling tired. I can't be happy. Wanting things that I don't change. I can't.
You can begin your journey wherever you are, whenever you want. You may be starting your journey from a mansion or a homeless shelter. Wherever you begin, the gateways to wisdom and knowledge are always open. And the first step can be as simple as changing a thought from I can't to I can.
Was that this is the great secret that everyone knows except us in the West. Almost any other culture that we go to, from the monasteries in Egypt and Tibet and India and Bolivia and Peru, the indigenous traditions, little villages in the Andes Mountains, they all know that there is this experience that we can have inside of our bodies that affects our world in some way, and our science simply has not allowed for that historically. But I was trained as a scientist, and I was trained to look in the world around me for my answers, so I began to go to these places. I began to go into the monasteries, all the places that I mentioned. And it was through the direct experience of sitting in the presence of people who have lived and practiced the kinds of traditions that Louise Hay and the other authors I'm so blessed to be sharing the stage and this information with, that they teach about. And what we begin to understand is that this is the place where science got it wrong. Two places, two assumptions.
All of physical matter, everything we have around us, is the result of a frequency. And what that also means is that if you amplify the frequency, the structure of the matter will change.
What this self-contained system is a hologram. It's what I call the super hologram. Everything within it is an expression of that hologram. This is one of the great characteristics of a hologram, is that every part of a holographic picture is a smaller version of the whole.
It's as if reality is so connected that when you look at one small part, you can see things about other parts, that the entire whole is contained in the part. And in a sense, you can't divide reality up because we're cutting up a hologram. We can't find where one particle is because it's always a reflection of all particles.
It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating.
Now, you are powerfully influential.
What you are thinking and feeling and what is manifesting is always a vibrational match. All your power is now. Think about what you're doing to tomorrow when you feel good now. All of your power is now.
Greetings from home. You here in these rooms, you watching these broadcasts, reading these words. You know deep in your heart that you've come here with something to do. We wish to tell you what is directly ahead of you. We wish to speak of something we have not spoken much of before. We will begin by telling you a little bit about the magic of 2012, because the potentials that are coming across the earth and humanity are becoming unbelievable as you evolve. Your evolution has gone forward way ahead of the game. We've spoken before about 2012. Yes, it's a magical date. Yes, it's a shift in dimension. Yes, it's all the things that you have expected it to be. Why? Because you are the creators. And when you set your mind that something is going to happen, it happens. Now, all along, there has been a division of the old energy and the new energy. Many different divisions and segments along the way that could be demarcation points that you could call any one of them. This is the old and this is the new. But we also tell you that the 2012 is a big landmark. It has been from day one. It is an interdimensional junction point. Let us give you another illustration and tell you what this is going to do. You are fascinated, absolutely fascinated by the stories of Camelot and King Arthur. And yet you do not actually know whether these stories are real or whether they were made up. Yes, you have found the grave of King Arthur. Yes, you have found the pieces that you believe to be of old Camelot. But are they really? Is this a real history or not? Well, of course, the word real has a lot of variations to it. So you must understand that if you expected something to happen, you will find the evidence that it has happened. And you will create all that you need to understand. But let us explain to you another concept of this. For this has happened many times on your planet. Many times on your planet. It happened in the days of Buddha. It happened in the days of Christ. It happened many times where you have stories that come into your world that never change. Do you understand that if we tell one person over here in the corner a simple 5-line story, 5 words maybe, by the time they pass it to the next person and pass it to the next person and ends up at the other side of the room, those 5 words, you'll be lucky if 2 of them are the same. Because of interpretation, because those are how stories are passed down. Isn't it interesting that these stories never change? That is because they are imprints of timelines. You have many timelines that run. There's 11 experiences of your own soul happening at the same time. You are a multidimensional being living in 11 different experiences of the soul and one point of perception. And as each of those are having things, they're on different